So I wanted to go ahead and set these recordings of some musings that I had from different mental exercises that I had been working on, and just kind of understanding there is a place that I had been and then a place that I had fallen from. And once I noticed I had been falling from this high place that I'm thinking to myself, how do I get back here? How is it that I stop operating down in the low place, even though it is something that I am aware that keeps happening? How do I move from this place? How do I shift permanently instead of coming back and forth, up and down, ebbing and flowing in a way where the ebb is not seemingly beneficial? But of course, everything that we do, as long as we are in God, in faith, in positivity, it works out for our good. As long as we're loving God and we are the called according to his purpose. So I'm listening to The Game of Life and How to Play It, and it's totally confirming the things that I actually knew. So I started to write down some strategies of how my coach let me know how to work through the up and down, how to get, away from whatever's going on in the subconscious to actually put forth what is essential to get the underlying issue solved. So as I'm writing, I'm learning, I'm saying, this is what I need. This is my problem. My problem is that I'm not doing every day. Well, that's not really the problem. Although every day is very helpful, it's not the everyday. And back in the past, I used to be so stuck on, I have to have some person there helping me every day. I need a person, which led me to understand that's codependency. And codependency is not the strength that you need to be operating from. It's not the mastery that needs to be developed. It is not the prime core from which you need to launch anything from, because codependency will beget more codependency. Of course, everyone can get help with a trainer, with a coach. Everyone gets help with the everyday up until they get to a certain point where they can become independent. But I had something within that just refused to do my own thing every day. And it wasn't that I had the inconsistency, the concept of I can't do it every day. This is basically something that I had to face and figure out why wasn't I able to find anyone to do a particular thing every day consistently for me. And it's because I wasn't willing to do that for me. And so whatever we do is pretty much reflected back to us. So as I wrote down, I've learned I need every day. No day skipped, every day. And I kept underlining every day. I love every day, every day, every day. As I'm writing this, it's like, no, that's not really your real issue. I'm like, okay, well, what's the problem with every day? I mean, if I'm doing something every day to work on my mindset, why is the everyday not really the issue? It's not even that every day is a problem. It is just that wasn't my real issue, even though I keep saying, I need every day, I need every day. Yeah, we all do. We all can benefit from something every day. We need to work on ourselves every day, because each day we get up, we get to choose. Okay? We get these choices set before us each day. So, as I began to continue working on this and knowing that each day we do get up and we get the opportunity to choose, what is the actual issue here? I figured it out. How do I stop operating down here after being in a high place? How do I stop falling down here after being in a high place? How do I completely move from here and shift from here instead of being in this low place? how do I function specifically, strategically, in a way where it's set and there's no up and down? I must deal with the reason why I don't set it in place. The scripture tells us to set our affection on things above. It tells us to set it there, to set it. Okay, so each day I need to be setting it. That is why I wanted to do every day. But that's still not the issue. The issue is that I refused to set it and keep it set. That's the issue. It's not the everyday. It's not that I keep being up here and I keep falling down here. The issue is that I refused to set it and keep it set. Why? Doubt, fear, unbelief. That is the core. Why do we not keep things set? We fear that we haven't found our sweet spot, that we won't be able to be bold and be exclusive and in a productive way. We fear getting stuck. We fear, being unactivated, untransformed. We see people who set things and they set their minds on something and they get stuck, and that's the thing, and they're unable to see outside of that, and then they become victims. And it's like, we don't want to be limited, so a lot of times we just don't set it and leave it there because we're like, well, what if I set it and I get stuck and not able to see my right and wrong, or able to correct what needs to be corrected, because it seems like we're closed off and not productive. So how is it that we can set something but not actually keep it there? Because there's a fear of setting it. There's a fear of keeping it there. Even not so much a fear of setting it, but a fear of keeping it. A fear of not having the variations that we want in life, because we feel we're learning also from the variations. But setting your energy in a positive place that's going to continue to develop more positivity. What the issue is sometimes is that we don't want to become Delulu. We don't want to become some utopian, not really dealing with issues type positive, overly whatever person. There's a way, there's a remedy for all of that. But we first must deal with the fact, the core issue, the core underlying problem, the root is that we refuse to set it and leave it there. Let's deal with that. Let's go deeper into that and dismantle what is going on. So we write down why I don't set it and leave it set. Then write the equal sign, and then write all of the reasons, and do this line by line. Why I don't set it and leave it set. Why I don't set it and leave it set. Why I don't set it and leave it set. And discover what's going on in that subconscious mind that's creating the volatility. Because it's not the fact that you don't do it every day or have every day. Because even if you have every day and you set it and don't leave it set, guess what? Each day you're not really making as much progress as you should. Although you will be making progress because you're doing something every day, you're not making as much as you could. And sometimes that's even a fear, because it's like, I don't want to make more progress than I am able to keep up with. So there's a lot going on in the mental work. And this is why, once again, benefiting from doing it every day, because there's so many things in there. But the core issue of why something is not productively and continuously done is not that it's not being done every day. It's that it's not set and forget. It's not set and left there to be set. Which is a requirement to do it every day right? Because it needs to be set so that every day it can bring forth what's needed. But the everyday is not the core issue. Hopefully that's helpful and not as confusing. Those who can only see through one lens will not particularly get this right now, because they're going to be stuck on, well, it's got to be every day. And most people are stuck on that. And that's why many people only stay within a certain range or realm, because they feel like this has to be done every day from an everyday standpoint instead of a set and leave it standpoint. Totally different. Hang on. Keep working. Let's chat later.